the news, Nigerians decide as millions troops stole the polls to perform their franchise. Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello confident of All Progressive Congress victory in the state. CP Yekini Ayoku leads other heads of security agencies, INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner on Election Security Patrol. This is the MLC TV Global News reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluence state of Nigeria. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. Thanks for joining us. Millions of Nigerians on the 25th of February 2023 came out to vote in what they describe as the most competitive elections in the country since the inception of the democratic process in Nigeria. Nigerians in their numbers decide who will be their next president, those that will represent them at the Senate, National Assembly and in many state governors, with the exemption of Kogi, Bayelsa and Imo state governorship election to be conducted later in the year. Our reporters will monitor the elections process as more.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari and his wife Aisha Buhari arrived at their polling unit in Daura, where they successfully cast their votes. President Buhari expressed satisfaction with the BVAS machine and commended INEC for their efforts, and also assured Nigerians that his candidate will emerge victorious.
Very impressed because I've seen how the people turn up. I'm very impressed and very happy. Well, the candidate I voted for, I already mentioned it in so many number of states, in Nasarawa, in Katsina, in Sokoto, all over the place. I mentioned my favorite candidate, and I believe my constituency will choose him 100%. Nigerians should make sure that they have been respected. That means the candidates they want to vote for, they are allowed to vote for him. It's a pity there is only one woman candidate as a governorship from Adamawa State. So the woman should kindly follow our APC presidential candidate, and everybody knows him. I look at those who are competing, and some of them are so agitated, they didn't know that I tried 3 times. I ended up in Supreme Court 3 times, and then the 4th time I said God day, and God sent technology. With permanent voters card, no fraudulent person can come and claim anything more than 1 vote for himself.
The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who successfully cast his vote along with his wife Oluremi, promised to follow his manifestos to make Nigeria great if he wins the election as the president of the country.
The only thing that we have as a challenge, but we are not the only country affected with the economic crisis. It's spreading all over the world. And we just have to recalibrate the system and set Nigeria on the path of recovery.
Also, the People's Democratic Party, PDP presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, commended the INEC, but said the Naira crunch has suffered electorate even though it was a good way of preventing vote buying.
I think to the extent that it was meant to stop vote buying, I think it's a worthwhile exercise. But then I think as far as the accessibility of the new currency to the ordinary man, I think it needs to be, more needs to be done. This is a more credible process, than previous ones, and I think it is good that we are improving with every election cycle.
Crossing over to Anambra State, the country home of the Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi, also commended the electoral umpire for the well-coordinated election and deployment of the BVAS machine.
I can't judge the INEC now because I don't know what's happening everywhere. What is happening here is okay. So I hope what's happening here is what is happening globally, all over Nigeria. If it is, fine.
In Kano State, the presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, Musa Kwankwaso, expressed satisfaction with the process of the election. He, however, expressed worry about the malfunctioning of some beavers and called on the INEC to attend to all electorate who turned out in large numbers across the city of Kano. In Benue State, Governor Samuel Otom commended INEC for their efforts and urged them to be transparent in all their activities.
This improvement, and they should ensure transparency in the transmission of the results.
The general elections result is expected to be released and announced as soon as all votes are collated across Nigeria. Joshua Adinoy, reporting for MLC TV.
The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, says challenges experienced during the 2023 general elections will be improved upon. Professor Mahmood, who gave the assurance while briefing journalists in Abuja, said except few places where INEC couldn't arrive on time due to logistics, pointed out that INEC is committed to free and fair elections.
Similarly, in Oshimili local government area of Delta State, thugs attacked a polling unit and 2 beavers machines were lost in the process. But again, determined that election must continue, we were able to replace the stolen beavers machines, reinforce security, and voting continued in that location. Similarly, in Sapana local government area of Katsina State, thugs attacked one of our voting locations and snatched 6 beavers machines. But again, we were able to recover and use the spare beavers machines and reinforce security for voting to continue in that location. Happily, the security agencies have recovered 3 of the beavers machines, but 3 are still held by the thugs. So in these locations, the target of attack was actually the beavers machines. No longer ballot papers or ballot boxes is the beavers machines. But in 2 instances, we were able to recover and continue with the process.
Mahmood expressed happiness that INEC, as for the first time, did not change the date of the general elections as experienced in the past.
We tried to solve a 25-year-old problem in the history of Nigeria by expanding voter access to polling units, which we successfully did in 2021. Before then, the delimitation of polling units was the one done by the old NECON, not INEC, in 1996. Doing so means redistributing some voters to polling units. The law empowers the Commission to create polling units and to allot voters to them. There is population increase, movement of people up and down the country, and so we did so. But what we did in the main was to redistribute voters from congested polling units in proximate or same location. In other words, voters were not in the main taken out of the locations where they have voted consistently since 1999.
Reports of the election process from Lagos, Imo, Edo and State has continued to pour in as they record quite enough satisfaction with the electoral process and the effectiveness of the bimodal voters accreditation system, BVAS, which they said has proven to be a better option for the country. Our reporter who monitored from another sister station tells us more.
The Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma and his wife Chioma Uzodinma have voted in his country home at polling unit 10 in Omuma in Oru East local government area of Imo State. While commending INEC, he says the section is a departure from the norm and urged people not to look for loopholes but commended INEC for improving the electoral processes.
There is no perfection here on earth, only God that is perfect. So I advise our people not to be looking for faults. We should embrace change and innovations towards national development. INEC, they are unbiased, and technology, I think, is almost the best we can provide for now.
On the issue of the late arrival of materials, he says it's due to logistic problems by the members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, but it's been resolved.
I'm told that the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers were supposed to supply vehicles, and they disappointed. So INEC is struggling. We're also helping to intervene here and there to ensure that the voting election will hold.
Cross River State Governor and APC senatorial candidate for Cross River North, Ben Ayade, cast his vote at his polling unit after over 6 hours delay by INEC. He worried about the INEC server.
We didn't have materials till about 1 o'clock, at about 12. When the materials came, we didn't have anybody, the whole INEC staff, nobody available. So my worries are, since they say the RACTEX system switches off at a certain time in Abuja, what is the possibility that our people will not be disenfranchised? This is a heavily populated polling unit. Some people already started getting tired and almost leaving. So I think that it's a very big problem for me. This is the polling unit for the governor of the state, and if I cannot vote till 8 minutes after 2, then it calls for worry. And I've been receiving calls from other polling units showing the same concern that the machine is either not working or is being shut down, or it's a deliberate manipulation to ensure that they lower the vote from.
In Bayelsa, where former President Ebele Goodluck Jonathan cast his vote, he cautioned the politicians and wished for a peaceful election across the nation.
There is improvement on the corridor, and I believe it will be better than the corridor. I don't think we are moving backward. We may still have some issues. It's technology. Even your phone, there are problems with your phone. Even if you buy one of the best smartphones, sometimes you still have problems. So I'm not expecting that no country that deliver machines will work perfectly, but it's a significant improvement. And at least there's an attempt to improve on the methodology. The only thing I request from INEC is that in terms of distributing materials, they should improve on that. I was a bit worried when I got here by 8:30 and there was nobody. But this is almost to 12, but at least I voted. That means that the election has commenced in this, at least in this unit, in some parts of the world, the materials are yet together. But we have tried to have started the elections. My wish for Nigeria is for us to conduct peaceful election. And for us who are politicians, our conduct matters a lot. And I always tell politicians that, yes, you can win election through unorthodox means, just like using violence to win elections or buying votes and so on. But when you do that, you are behaving like an armed robber or a con man. Armed robber makes money through robbery, but everybody knows that it's an armed robber. A con man makes money through deceiving people, but everybody knows it's a con man. They are not decent members of society. Politicians are supposed to be decent members of society. So we must conduct our affairs very credibly, that both our supporters, our relatives, and so on should know that politics is a clean business. The whole world is looking at us. So many senior global citizens are in Nigeria because of these elections. They want us to succeed, and we must not fail.
In Edo State, the former governor Adam Soshomole narrates how some vote buyers were caught and handed over to the authorities.
They vote by using a POS. So people observe it, that they just observe that people vote, they bribe there, they come here to vote, and they turn back there before they move out. So that allowed and then we went there and it was caught in the act. And those he has sent money to, all the documents, all the papers were in his bag. And I show you my video recording, everybody recorded. He had been taken away and handed over to the police.
While a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mike Ozekome, after casting his vote at LEA Junior Secondary School, Asokoro 3, talked about the new Nigeria he envisaged.
The refusal to have a unified state. So what is the next president going to do to succeed? Because it's not enough to talk about building infrastructure, roads, and any person can give roads, about building, giving us water. Anybody can do that. Even the military, when they were in power, they came to power through brute force. They were still giving us roads and water. That is not what we are talking about. A country needs to have a sense of identity that makes you proud to be a Nigerian. And that sense of identity is through a constitution. A constitution is the birth certificate of a country.
The elections were majorly peaceful across Nigeria. Khadijat Mohammed, reporting for MLC TV.
In the Central Senatorial District of Kogi State, Governor Yaya Bello, along with his entourage, arrived at his polling unit in Okeneba, Agasa Ward to exercise his franchise. In an interview with newsmen after casting his vote, Governor Bello commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for the smooth conduct of the 2023 general elections, assuring that APC will triumph at the end of the process. According to him, the bimodal voter accreditation system BVAS used in his polling unit initially malfunctioned but rectified and served the multitude of the electorate who queued to exercise their franchise. Our reporter Faith Abdul-Ghaffar has more.
After Muhammadu Buhari's second time as Nigeria's president, Nigerians cast their votes to decide who is the next president. Amongst the major contestants are the All Progressives Congress, APC candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, People Democratic Party PDP Atiku Abubakar, and Labour Party Peter Obi. In Kogi, the state governor Yaya Bello, after he cast his vote in his hometown, at Unit 11 Agasa Eba Ahachi Ward in Okene local government area, expressed confidence that his party will win. While he commended the INEC for deploying enough election materials.
I appreciate the INEC, all the security agencies, the observers, the media, and the electorate themselves for coming out the mass, operating with government and INEC, to carry out the civic responsibility in the most responsible manner. And they are ready to take an informed decision. To choose a leader who has done it before, who will do it again, and ensure that Nigeria is on the path to greatness.
Though he said the BVAS system used in his polling unit malfunctioned initially, but rectified and served the electorate who turned out in large numbers to exercise their franchise.
This morning we experienced a little hitch in the functionality of BVAS, but thank God it's rectified. Our people have queued up peacefully. I joined them, I joined the queue, and by the special grace of God, the exercise is going to end very, very successfully, and we're very hopeful that Nigerians will rejoice with this process.
On security, he commended the agents for their smooth and peaceful conduct. In an interview with some electorate, a public figure in the area, Momo Dauda, and others commended the INEC for the BVAS machine and the efficiency in time management compared to the previous system of accreditation and voting.
I have to commend the INEC. They were here as scheduled, but we had a little hitches when the BVAS didn't come up, but it was rectified maybe after 2 hours after. As far as I've been voting in this particular unit, it has always been peaceful.
See, the election is quite ongoing and the accreditation is quite going smoothly. The technology we have been using so far, I believe that it will be okay for the masses that are going to cast their vote.
I'm very sure it's very good as they brought these technologies to help the community, because it's moving the election very fast.
Other polling units observed is LGEA Primary School, Otuahe. Faith Abdul-Ghaffar reporting for MLC TV.
Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has expressed disappointment over the inability of the INEC BVAS machines to function properly saying that such has proven INEC's inadequate preparation for the general elections despite its claims. Speaking with journalists after casting his vote following several attempts and delays at his polling unit, he expressed fear that many voters will, for no fault of theirs, be denied the right to vote in the Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections, as his wife was unable to vote due to malfunctioning BVAS machines. Our reporter has more.
Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, in the company of his wife, arriving at his polling unit 7 in Ward 9 in Obio-Apo local government area. Governor Wike, who arrived at about 9:30 a.m., full of excitement, was however greeted with disappointment as he and his wife could not be accredited due to the malfunctioning BVAS machines. After several attempts and about 30 minutes later, the governor was asked to go and then come back, a situation he did not find funny.
If a number of people have been disenfranchised, I mean, what do you expect? And that's why we say that INEC ought to have been fully ready before letting the public know that, they're completely ready and that they believe that Nigerians will be happy with their preparation, but they're not to show for it at all.
And after trying to make the machines work without any results, the elections officials 2 hours later decided to return them to the INEC office for a replacement. They came back at about 1:45 local time with a set of new BVAS machines. The anxious voters could not contain their excitement as accreditation began. Governor Wike appeared a few moments later and was this time around cleared to cast his vote. But the story was not the same with his wife, Justice Eberechi Suzette Nyesom Wike, as the BVAS machines malfunctioned again. Governor Nyesom Wike is also worried that just like his wife, many other voters will be denied the right to cast their votes.
My people cannot be disenfranchised. You can see we've never had an election where you have this number of crowd. I believe that they will extend the period to 6 p.m. I mean, look at the time now. Voting ought to have started from 8:30 to about 2:30, but we are just starting. So I'm not happy with the preparedness of INEC as regards to the BVAS.
After waiting a few more hours without any success, Justice Eberechi Suzette Nyesom Wike went back home, not able to exercise her right to vote for the candidates of her choice. Khadijat Mohammed, reporting for MLC TV.
Former governor of Bayelsa State, Timipre Silva, had described as peaceful the electioneering process in the state. Silva stated this in an interview with journalists before exercising his franchise in Opama Ward 4, Unit 4 in Brass local government area of the state. He, however, expressed dissatisfaction with the late arrival of sensitive materials, accreditation, and the voting proper started late in the area.
Materials did not arrive in this ward till this morning, late morning today. So I believe that they will extend the voting time for us as well to accommodate all the people that want to vote. But we are quite hopeful that me, at my position as leader of this ward, I cannot find my name. If my name cannot be found in the actual register, then I don't know whose name will be found there. I don't know also whose name will not be found there. And that means that a lot of people at the end of the day will be disenfranchised. Now, some people will just come, they don't find their name, they will walk away. It was because I insisted that they were able to go. I didn't know that there was even a backup equipment, but because I insisted that I have to vote, they have to look for the backup. I found my name there. But there are a lot of people who will not insist that much. If they don't find their name, they'll just walk away. And so we'll be losing a lot of votes, unfortunately. INEC should take note of this and ensure that this doesn't happen again during the next round.
He called on INEC to step up their game to avoid reoccurrences in subsequent elections. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, in company of his wife and members of his immediate family, performed their franchise at the Eyekole Ward E3 on Adeniji Adele Road, Lagos Island. A statement by the governor's chief press secretary, Boyega Akosile, explained that Sanwo-Olu, after casting his vote, expressed satisfaction with the peaceful conduct of voters and security agencies at his polling unit. The governor also acknowledged improvements in the voting process, but decried late arrival of electoral officials at several polling stations across the state. He expressed confidence that the All Progressive Congress APC would come out victorious at the end of the process.
Opinion, they say, is the lowest of human knowledge, but the world, the people, the actions, reactions and decisions are often patterned with opinions. The same world is characterized by different views, and decisions are sometimes judged by actions or reactions due to opinions. People, nations, and even lower animals rise against or for one another just because of their opinions. Minds are set on opinions daily. Tell me what you don't know and I will tell you. It's all about your opinion. Join me, Joshua Atinoi, on Malachite TV Online every Monday by 9 a.m. Your opinion, my opinion, if well explained and understood, will help us to build a better society. Your opinion, my opinion counts. Don't miss it.
The streets of Lokoja, Kogi State capital, were empty. Shops and other business premises were under locks and key as electorate troops to the polling units to perform their franchise. The 2023 general elections, which provides opportunity to the electorate to elect new leaders that will serve them for the next 4 years, was accorded due attention. While some expressed concern over delay at some polling units, others expressed satisfaction with the peaceful conduct of the elections. Our reporter has the detail.
The general overview of the electorate in Kogi State was an encomium on the federal government, the electoral umpire and security agencies over the smooth conduct of the elections. At the Adankale Primary School, voters experienced delay before the commencement of accreditation and voting and called on the federal government and INEC to work on their timing.
In fact, it's stressful. I can't leave my house as early as 6 o'clock to wait for INEC staff, and they are even here and still we don't even know what is really happening now. Some people have even come and go again, and that is how it's going to take. Some who will go will not come back. So I just pray in the next election it should be better than this.
My pain now be see where they vote. I no can see my name. I asked, I check all the alphabet, my name, waiting is ever my name, nobody that place. And now I don't know, and they say if you want make you go to vote for that place, make you collect transfer. And I don't go for transfer, I don't know how my name take transfer from my polling unit to go to another place.
In an interview with some voters at the front of ADC office and St. Mary Primary School, Lokoja, they describe the process as encouraging.
Well, the election is quite different for what is obtainable inside the assumption of democracy in Nigeria. What I see is a lot of changes. Most important, the security arrangement is perfectly done. And another area is, beside the cashless attitude or challenges we're facing, it's attributed to a lot of things that is of paramount advantage. One, as I came in here, I see EFCC staffs everywhere, meaning that if you come around with cash, you'll be held responsible. And that is a good step.
I think it was fast enough. We all came in. I think I haven't spent up to an hour here yet, and I've already casted my vote. And from what I've seen so far, I think it's organized.
It's been fair. No distraction. There's no external influences. I think people are left to cast their vote on their choices, which is an improvement from the previous time we were here.
Electorate at the superb and Dunamis Church Junction also described the 2023 general elections process as way far different from the past, when voters faced different threats, calling on the federal government to sustain such a stress-free electoral process where the voters make their choice independently.
The process at Superb is a wonderful one.
It's calm, peaceful. Everybody comes, go check your name. As far as your name is there, you come for the verification and you cast your vote. It's a very wonderful and a sweet one. The difference is so clear. This one is more perfect than that of 2019.
Since I come here, I don't think there's any hitches here. Everything is going well. You can see everywhere is quiet. Thank God. I come here, I witnessed that there's normally we notice a multitude of people here, but when I come here, I discover that they divide the distance for so many places, so it reduces the crowds here. So that is okay.
There is a relative difference when compared with the old ones. I mean the old process. This time around, things are going smoothly. I no rancor, no bitterness.
A physically challenged voter, Ishaq Daimam, praised INEC for putting measures in place that helps attend to persons with disabilities.
I've actually voted, and it was a seamless exercise for me. But I noticed a number of issues here at the polling center. There was late deployment of election materials and electoral officers to the various polling centers within Lokoja metropolis. Other issue that is very, very, very disturbing here is the misplacement of voters' names on the voters' register. A lot of voters have come around from other polling units. You know, INEC had an arrangement for migration of voters from overpopulated polling centers to less populated polling centers. Yeah, so as a result of that, so many voters came down here searching for their names, and unfortunately or painfully, they couldn't find their names, and they appeared to be disturbed by this unfortunate development.
An observer from a non-governmental organization, Feed Africa Foundation, Hope Iliojo, expressed satisfaction with the conduct of the election at the polling units visited.
I've observed up to 3 polling units. Each of them are peaceful in terms of security and coordination.
An assistant presiding officer 3 at the polling unit 053 Ward A, Lokoja, Sule Innocent, said there was no issue of failed machines at the unit and also commended voters for their orderly conduct.
We came as early as 8:25, and by 8:40 we kickstarted the process, and since then it has been smooth. We came and pasted the name of the voters. We have about 678 registered voters in this unit, and since we came we've not had any challenge. It has been smooth all the way. The voters have been cooperating, and the system also has not failed us. I think for INEC, they have tried so much, and we didn't encounter any challenges of transportation, getting to this place, or even getting to the rack center for us to get our materials.
In a peaceful and orderly manner, the electorate performed their franchise as security operatives, election observers, the Economic and Financial Crime Commission EFCC, amongst others, were cited performing their various functions. I am Morno Balagubu reporting for MLC TV.
The Commissioner of Police posted to Kogi State for the general elections, CP Yekini Ayoku, led other heads of security agencies as well as INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state on an election security patrol across the state during the general elections. A statement by the Police Public Relations Officer SP William Aya explained that CP Yekini reiterated the Joint Security Forces' commitment to contain any act of criminality during the process and also commended the Joint Security Forces for the high level of synergy exhibited. The Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has cancelled the voting process in 7 polling units in the Eastern Senatorial District of Kogi State following the disruption of voting by thugs in the affected areas. According to INEC, 2 polling units were cancelled in Ayangba, while 5 others were annulled in Omala community of the state. The electoral umpire stated that the attacks by thugs who shot into the air and disrupted the polling units contravened the Electoral Act. As such, elections from the concerned areas stand cancelled. INEC said led to the sudden end of the voting in the said areas. The 2023 KABBA-NUNU-IJUMU House of Representative election has been declared inconclusive by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. This followed the difference between the margin of winners and cancellation of results in 2 polling units of the federal constituency. The returning officer Adams Baba, who declared the results inconclusive in KABBA on Sunday, said the difference of the results between the winner, Salman Idris of African Democratic Congress ADC, and the candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC, Kolawole Matthew, was not up to the number of registered voters in the cancelled polling units. The ADC candidate polled 13,867 votes, while the APC candidate polled 13,605 votes, leaving 262 votes difference, whereas the number of PVC collected in the cancelled polling units of Iya in Otu Ward in KABBA-NUNU local government is 485. The returning officer, however, failed to mention when a rerun election will be conducted in the affected polling units. And that's the size of our package today. If you like what we are doing, do support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, Malachi TV. Like and follow our Facebook pages, MLC TV and MLC TV 2, Instagram MLC TV 2021, Twitter MLC TV 1. For your event coverage, appearances on any of our programs, contributions, comments, advert placement or sponsorship, please call or send SMS to any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join Malachi TV online on weekends to watch our various programs. Saturday 7 p.m. Political Arena, Sunday 6 p.m. Women's Ward, and Monday 9 a.m. The Opinion. It's Malachi TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. Endeavor to remain law-abiding citizens as we await the results of the just concluded 2023 general elections. Remember, the House of Assembly elections is still ahead. Perform your franchise when the time comes. Continue to be your brother's keeper to build a happier and better society together. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. Thanks for watching.